Where are we? I don't even know who this character is. I already ordered the plushie, thank you. I want my own little...
Because it's Andu, and he is the best.
Yes, he is. What are these trinkets? Ooh. Oh!
Oh, we missed a couple.
There are trinkets we have not acquired. I bet they're different paths.
Yes.
Right, like you go with different options. So if you're trying to be a completist, it helps you mark the different paths you go through. Twinkle, twinkle, deadly stars. No! Who is this kitty? And I must have them.
It was all tail and butt.
Right? By Pyramid of Dalinor. And Renu. Okay, good. Ooh, those are weapons. I don't have either of those. But I have both of those. Interesting. Okay. I like this. All right, let's load in. Here we go. Like to play. Yes, I have all the saves. Disaster, Tea, and Revelations, huh? Act 3, The Twilight Flood. Chapter 21, Disaster, Tea, and Revelations. 31st of the Astral Moon. Isn't something supposed to happen at the end of the Astral Moon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Probably nothing good.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Hey, demon. Okay, let's start. Has returned. Welcome back. It's good to see you both again. Hold your enthusiasm, innkeeper. We bring tales of disaster.
I don't mind a little disaster in my tales. After all, you tell them so well. She really does. As do you, Clay. Aw, thank you. Hope my stories are as good as your drinks.
They are to me. Speaking of which, can I offer you a drink in exchange for a little insight into your disasters?
You know what? I think that'd be great.
Something that feels strong and magic-y, correct?
You remembered. Yeah, that one, please.
Coming right up. Strong and magic-y. Oop, where did Bubba go? So it's not the cursed coffee, because that's a new drink. So maybe a sailor's courage?
I think a sailor's courage might be a good idea.
Or a southern brawler.
I want to say he had a southern brawler last time.
I do too. What is that child doing?
He's not on the laser printer yet.
I can hear him. Is he playing on that piece of paper?
Yes.
Okay, he's fine. Toilet's favorite toys in the world are paper, and we have a bunch of deliveries this week, so there's a big piece of paper that's been folded in half to make a cave, and it is therefore the greatest thing in his existence.
And he will pounce on you if you go into his cave.
Yes. Thank you very much, Andu. Something tasty and strong, but hopefully not disastrous.
That's very tasty. It's very strong. You really got the best drinks around.
Happy to hear that, Clay. Tia, you are bursting at the seams. How were the archives?
Oh, they were fun.
Were they? Mayhaps. The Bleak Stalkers were...
Bleak.
Cute.
Cute. Very. Jade told us where to find the entrance to the archives. But when we got there, we found it surrounded by bleak stalkers.
They were quite numerous and belligerent, like my children. And so...
I decided to ask them if they could let us through.
I cannot help but hear Terry from Dragon Prince. as Clay now.
That's what I'm aiming for.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. And I thought he might need some help with that. So I called on your honey flowers, and I extended my divine light to him. It made him glow softly, and they all flocked to him like moths to a gentle flame. Did you know they have velvet wings they can fold onto their bodies?
I didn't. That is fascinating. They were so cuddly, and they showed off their crawling skills in exchange for carrots. I asked them if they'd like to be our tour guides, and they were so excited.
This is really disturbingly sweet.
They'd never been tour guides before, and at first they thought it'd involve eating people.
I might have acted a bit standoffish when trying to correct their misconception. Yeah, his eyes do appear to sparkle when he thumbs up. Clay was able to convey the message much better. He's very good at explaining things.
Yeah. The other option's dickish.
Yeah. You want to say that one?
I think he really understands people, and that helps him meet them where they're at. I'll try to. Everyone has their own way of understanding things. I think that's beautiful.
I envy your empathetic approach to life, Clay.
Oh, thank you. But you've got
Yes,
your own...
see, his eyes are
Is that little
sparkling with the
sparkles?
thumbs up.
But you've got your own strengths. Like how you're a master of strategy, or how you're so good at making people feel safe.
I do suppose we make a great team.
The best, I might say. Oh, we make a great team with the Bleak Stalkers, too. They led us right inside the archives, which were huge.
Oh, I'm so sorry, folks. Large parts of the Everbloom had collapsed, but even the explorable sections were unbelievably spacious. We had no time for a proper tour, unfortunately. We had to make it back in time for the barbecue, after all. That meant we had to be efficient during our search. Though we did take a break to admire the artist's hall the creatures very excitedly led us to see. We found abandoned pottery equipment that distracted us a little too much. Using more time than was perhaps appropriate, we molded tiny versions of the little creatures, a gift to them.
They loved them.
Afterwards, we split up to cover more ground. Each of us was guided by a group of bleak stalkers.
A dangerous choice. That's when the monsters get you.
That's what Clay said. So I enchanted the friendship bracelets. That way, they would always sense in which direction the other person was located, so neither of us would get lost.
It was so smart.
It was very useful.
I see you kept yours on.
They both have them on. I did.
They really helped with navigating around the archives too. It's a beautiful place, you know. I mean, everything's overgrown with vines or withered and full of termites. But we could still tell how much care had gone into building it. Some of the tree branches still had leaves on them. And I saw a couple of stubborn lotus daisies trying to break through around the rocks. I taught the bleak stalkers how to water them. They loved drinking out of the watering can. They also enjoyed sharing their water with the lotus daisies. Hopefully they'll grow stronger again soon.
What a shame. All the effort that went into building the archives was for nothing.
But it wasn't. It meant something to someone once. And I could still feel that love in it, even during our visit. Maybe it'll even bloom again. It's called the Everbloom, right? Like forever. I wonder who named it.
Oh, he just stretched.
We should go back sometime, see if we can find any information about the archivists. I bet they knew some great drinking games.
Perhaps we should honor their contributions by studying the knowledge they left behind.
Why not both? They should be people first. They should be people first, and they should be symbols second.
Oh, yes. I guess both would work too. Good idea, Clay.
What else did you find in the archives besides friends and beauty and horror of time, I mean. I got a little distracted when I asked our new friends to point me towards the cooking section. It was so fast. I found an ancient potato soup recipe. I can't wait to try it out.
I can't wait for that one either.
I also found something for you.
For me?
Yeah, a recipe from a book on mixology. First I thought about taking the whole thing along, but I was a giant home and the Bleakstalkers were quite attached to it. So I ripped out the page that looked the most interesting.
We thought it would fit your repertoire. I think it does. Thank you very much. Let's look at this new recipe. Last Whispers. Oh gosh, it's got a skull on it. The Last Whisper stealths itself into your heart. It provides a boost to strength and speed and has a tough, if somewhat bitter, aftertaste that will awaken your senses. Sometimes all you need is the right balance between elegance and brute force, and the correct translation of an ancient recipe. Ooh, we've still got 4 more recipes to find. As for me, I asked them to lead me towards dangerous knowledge, and soon found myself in a hidden study. The Bleakstalkers didn't want to go inside, like they were scared of its contents, so I rewarded them with some treats and ventured inside alone. It was a complete mess, full of scriptures, scrolls, and written ramblings that would be forbidden these days. A little exciting. And worrying. The papers I was able to translate spoke of the apocalypse, the end of it all. There was research on the roots of the Aether Tree and how to unbind them, written with shaking hands in fading ink.
Was this more the scholarly or mad scientist type of research?
It's hard to tell. The lines tend to blur with blasphemy.
Do you know a lot about the Aether Tree? Because Tia gave me a whole presentation about it.
I wouldn't mind a refresher.
It's a giant tree.
Good start.
A world tree. That means our world rests on it, in it, around it, somewhere.
In it, mostly.
Depends on who you ask. The dragon guards the tree. The dragons, pardon me, guard the tree because they created it, maybe, but definitely because they care for us. And since we live in it, it should keep existing as it does now, because no one wants their house to crumble, do they? Now, a lot of people would get hurt if something happened to everyone's home.
That's true, but luckily for us, damaging the Aether Tree isn't possible. It's larger than we could ever imagine. To us, it's really more of a concept than a tree. And the dragons defend it, despite their oath of neutrality, and they're no easy foes. There is one way. The sigils of Alcahest. Alcahest.
What now?
The sigils of Alcahest. They're the key to destroying the Aether Tree, according to the scrolls I studied under the archive's candlelight.
Are they some sort of spell?
More of a manual to a self-fulfilling prophecy, a way of breaking the cosmos in accordance with its own rules. For the tree to crumble, its foundation must be fractured. The 5 sigils of Alcahest represent the 5 dragons, each of which must be damaged to topple our world's balance. Only then can our cosmos reshape itself. The scrolls spoke of experiments for creating a sigil. Unsuccessful experiments.
That's reassuring.
Not quite. They were only unsuccessful back then. Next to the notes of old, I found others, written on cleaner, newer parchment with unfaded ink. Much of it was incomprehensible, written in languages I've never even seen before. But various sketches of whales caught my eye, as did altered frostbite scrolls.
That sounds unsettlingly familiar.
I fear that the starfall broke a sigil. By ripping holes into Cassiopeia's wings, it destabilized her flight. If she's damaged any further, time itself could be sent into disarray. Meanwhile, the tsunami, like I heard, didn't just plague the archives. The waves broke down the barriers between the primordial sea and the twilight chasm in ways never seen before.
So that's 2 broken sigils. That's not good.
What an incredible understatement.
To witness one such sigil fracture would be anxiety-inducing enough. Knowing it's happened to 2 is going to keep me up for many nights.
It's not 2. It's 3.
3.
Alongside the notes I found was an old map with fresh markings. All the names were outdated, but the intention was clear. Marked were the 5 interplanar portals. 30 years ago, their sudden appearance tore fissures into Gaia. I believe they were the first sigil.
That's really bad, right? Very.
Who could have done this? I don't know, and why, of all things? If the Aether Tree collapsed or even shifted from its perfect balance, the destruction would end us all.
Who would want that?
Look at he's scared.
Yeah, no one's thinking rationally, that's for sure. They might have a good reason for it. Maybe we could talk them out of it?
I doubt it.
Me too.
Whoever it may be that's causing this, they only have 2 sigils left.
Would be quite bad, right? Don't they say that waking the Elder Dragon will start the apocalypse?
They do.
I feel like there's too many ways to start the apocalypse, all things considered.
Clay, you're not wrong. I like KP's did we do this? Maybe they're all connected and waking will break the last sigil. Although, I'd like to think breaking all the sigils is indeed impossible.
Because it's impossible to reach Tuat in the spirit realm, correct?
It's not exactly impossible. One can make it to the spirit dragon via the astral sea at the dawn of the dying moon.
That's in 5 days, right?
Yes, but worry not. To reach such a specific location within the astral realm, very specific rituals are necessary, and Gaia's portal to Cassiopeia is indispensable. Said portal is located in and safely protected by the Aperture, the stronghold of the Order of Starlight. And its rituals must be performed with outstanding accuracy to withstand the treacherous astral currents. Only the highest-ranking members of the Order are privy to this knowledge, and I guarantee you, all of us would rather die than aid in the destruction of this world.
If the rest of them are half as stubborn as you, I think we're well protected.
Exactly.
Well, that's good then. The rest is worse, but that's good.
What's bad is that we don't know who's behind this. Or why, by the dragons and the endless horizon, anyone would desire something so vile.
I can already sense your next quest. But can I offer you a drink first? Your throat must be dry from all of that exposition.
I wouldn't say no to a drink. Perhaps something that will keep my mind intact and defended from lunacy. I feel I'm going mad.
Say no more. Night and Witch.
Let's see. Much defense. First snow. Or a steel tonic. That sounds kind of... It makes you feel comfortable and safe. Okay, that's a good choice. A frosted lagoon would also work. Protects you from any physical and spiritual harm. Yeah. No. I think the steel tonic is where I want to go with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I need something that's going to boost in order to make it. So I need... Oh, there's the lotus flower. That might work. A saber fang would work as well. So a lot of these would work. Citrine looks the best for this. Okay. Oh, I didn't draw it up. Okay, so I'm gonna have a steel tonic. Is there any advice being offered on this?
Checking now. Checking. La, la, la.
So one of these.
No.
One of these. Oops, gotta get to 2. Oops, no, that's wrong. Can do. There we go. And then 3 of these. Or 2 of these. There we go. There's a steel tonic. A delicious defense against the absurdities of evil plots. Thank you, this makes me feel a little less conspiratorial. I needed a breather.
You know what else would make for a great breather?
Fable's barbecue.
Exactly.
You're right, that would be quite pleasant right now.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think the barbecue is happening today. Fable hasn't returned from their quest yet. Oh no. What quest are they on?
Oh yeah.
Finding Melina. But we just saw Melly on the way here.
Perhaps they found another quest while out. Heroism can be quite infectious like that. And Cape, what kind of drink did you mix them?
None. Maybe we should go look for them.
Maybe so. Please do or don't. Ooh, this seems like an important decision.
Let me check.
Why didn't we mix a drink? I still don't understand what's going on with Fable.
I'm checking 2 walkthroughs and
Nobody mentions anything about it?
nobody mentioned them.
Then let's go send them to look for her. Them, please. Please do. No one has seen them in days. And the last thing I said to them, I'd hate for those words to stay the last. Please help me find them. Of course, I'm sure they couldn't slay any monsters without us, but some extra hands couldn't hurt.
But you'll have to deliver your apologies yourself.
I'll slay that beast when it comes to it. Very well. But first we must solve our urgent sigil problem. I feel like we're just missing one piece. Oh dear.
A piece of what? Cake? I love cake. I'd like to order my usual cake, please, innkeeper.
I don't serve cake. I never have.
Oh, well, maybe you should. Another delicious delicacy would be...
Also, still no blood.
Ah. Oh. The sorrow I'm feeling almost equals the grief I felt after the vampire glitter competition of 1389.
Oh.
I had run out of glitter. I could
serve you one of my usual drinks to alleviate some of that heartache.
Oh, that would be splendid. Thank you so much. I'd like something to enhance my immortal strength. No shopping bag shall hold me back today.
I'll see what I can do. Oh, goodness. Strength, huh? Give him coached coffee.
Is that strongy?
It's cursed coffee. It's strong coffee. Let's give him that. No, let's not. Let's not give Kyle any coffee. He doesn't need it. He doesn't really need a sailor's courage either. Probably a southern brawler, right? Yeah, let's just give Kyle a good old-fashioned southern brawler. Oh, I know. I need Kyle and Archie to meet. That would be so fun.
Have my accent actually disappear entirely into itself.
There's southern brawler for the table. Thank you, Andu. Well done. Here, with all the strength of a raging fire.
Oh, thank you, dearest innkeeper. My blood is boiling with euphoria.
Any particular reason for the shopping trip?
Actually, a very particular one, dear innkeeper. It is a matter of life and death. I must head out to purchase this wondrous sustenance known as comfort food immediately.
Do you know what comfort food is, Kyle?
I haven't the slightest idea. This is so much fun. But it is rumored to restore you mortals back to full health. I'm afraid Rhea will perish should she not receive it.
That sounds serious. Has Rhea fallen ill?
A fatal case of something she called being in the zone. I assume it's highly dangerous. She's refused to move away from her drawing board for over a year now. She even threw me out of the room upstairs when I offered her a simple blood pellet snack. How will her body handle another year without food?
Well, I have some good news for you. Rhea hasn't been sketching for a year. You checked in yesterday.
How fortunate!
And as for your legendary item, you should ask her about it. Generally, everyone has a different idea of what they consider comfort food.
How wondrous.
Though something tells me you should give her some time before you go upstairs to ask.
Why?
Call it intuition.
Oh, I don't think intuition is a very good name at all, innkeeper.
Want to help me find a better one?
Of course. I'll think of one before the next 80 years are up.
Thank you.
I shall remain for a while. And once I have acquired the correct comfort food, I will make sure my friend eats every last bite. Like a vampiric mother hen to her vampiric chick. I didn't know there were vampiric chickens.
There aren't. Do you know that for certain? Yes.
You know, I could have sworn the ones at my family's estate had fangs. How terribly strange.
Chickens cannot develop teeth.
Oh, you say that. Here I thought we were comrades in blood hunger. Chickens are still very fascinating all on their own now. Did you know they have very colourful dreams?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I once helped a wild hen with her dream journal.
Jeez. Of course you did,
Of
Clay.
course you did, Clay, you perfect pectoral muscle. I'll introduce you to sometimes. But you'll get on. My favourite thing about chickens is that they purr when they're happy. What charming creatures. The more I learn, the more they remind one of vampires. So simple, so sweet, so ferocious. Yet their origin harbours one of the greatest mysteries of life. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg, definitely.
Yeah, the egg. Not going to weigh in? I am intellectually withdrawing myself from this
In a sense,
conversation.
we all wish we could. But unlike this unsolved mystery, I do know how vampires were created.
Do tell. Would you mind elaborating? I thought you were intellectually withdrawing. Hush. As the cleric of Cassiopeia, humility is a lifelong objective that I strive towards. As such, I must admit when I need to concede words spoken in haste, which would be now, I suppose. Please, Kyle, if you wouldn't mind expanding on what you just said.
Oh, certainly. Happy to. I shall be brief. It must have been over 5 centuries ago when a scholar stole some of the immortal blood of the dragons. The scholar offered it to Queen Annabeth, who had become the vampire's monarch.
I have never heard of Queen Annabeth. I think that's just the plot of a really challenging board game, Kyle.
Oh, silly me. You're entirely right. So then Mike was real after all.
Mike?
Yes, Mike. It's all coming back to me now. The first vampire that walked this world was the infamous Smith. But most of us called him Mike. He had a very close connection to the spirit dragon and his domain. Eventually, Mike struck a deal with Tuat. In exchange for guarding the dragon's realm, he, personally, would get to live forever.
But that didn't work out, I guess.
Oh, well, Mike didn't read the fine print. Poor chap. Spirit dragon turned out to be quite the trickster. Tuat turned him into a new form of undead creature, invulnerable to age, untouched by disease, and yet still weak to the blade. Blood was the only thing he could stomach to consume, poor lamb, and with time even sunlight became intolerable. Mike was no longer welcome among the living, and the dead did not want him either. And that's how the first vampire was created.
Fascinating. There is so little known about the spirit dragon and his realm. Kyle, just how do you possess knowledge that's considered ancient by today's standards?
Oh, what knowledge? What? Where?
The knowledge you just imparted to us.
Oh, yes, that. I stumbled upon it in the grimoire I bought the other day at the local bookstore.
No, that was the vampire romance book. Karen recommended to you? Try again.
What? Oh, silly me, of course. Dear Evelyn was such a history fanatic. How could I not pick up on a few stories? That was one of her favorites. I still dream of her deathly beautiful countenance as she narrated tales until the intruder stopped screaming.
Clay's smirk.
She always told the story of our progenitor, Mike, so softly. She would cradle a vial of his blood and her tone would turn so reverent. A secret to share just with me, she would say. I didn't mean to break the last oath between us as well.
I'm sure we can keep this a secret, right?
A secret between you friends.
If secrecy is how we can repay you for sharing this with us, then so be it. Since you seem to have been very close to her, I wanted to let you know. We traveled past Marrow Castle on our way back. It looked awfully damaged. The destruction looked so fresh if we only had passed by earlier. Clay even spotted a heavily armored silhouette a short distance away from what remained of the castle walls. We hurried over as quickly as possible, but the shadow was gone by the time we got there. As it was, only rubble remained.
Was my dear Evelyn unharmed? We don't know. The castle looked abandoned. Felt like a ruin. My Evelyn? What horrid fiend could have inflicted such damage? She must have fought back so fiercely. May her opponent suffer twice the damage they inflicted upon her. What I wouldn't give to know her sake. I think I need to go ask Rhea about her comfort food.
Let's give him some time to come to terms with what he just learned. Time passes. Aha! Okay.
Unionize.
I've just got an accomplishment called Unionize. Greetings, brave adventurers.
Great morrow, innkeeper.
There seems to be a few more bones than usual with you, Scully.
You observed correctly, my good friend. They are wonderful parting gifts, are they not?
Sure are.
Care to bring me up to speed, Care?
Nah. You'll survive being left hanging for a few more minutes. You're bullying me. Go ahead.
You are bullying me. You are bullying your innkeeper, Care.
Patience, young innkeeper. Scully's been waiting to tell you this story since we left the Pale Woods.
I will try to compose myself. This tale deserves the cracking of every last one of my rhetorical knuckles. Let us recount that tale properly, Dame Kellen.
Hang on. I think I want a drink first. That can be arranged. Something to keep my strength up. I didn't get to flex my muscles much during this quest. Good one might net you a story.
No pressure, Cat.
Everybody wants strength. All about that strength. Kara making the cursed coffee.
That is a very, very deep What We Do in the Shadows cut, by the way.
Oh?
One of my favorite gags in What We Do in the Shadows is there's a whole thing about a party which they've been asked to host, which normally has in the past gone very badly. And it cuts to Nadia, I will murder her accent, going, I refuse to speak the name of the vampire that's fucked up so badly. And then it just cuts to Laszlo going, I don't give a fuck. His name was Mike.
I see. That is a deep Shadows at the Door. Not Shadows at the Door, sorry. What We Do in the Shadows, good.
I cut loose to Pennsylvania, because it sounded like Transylvania.
Alright, I need something that gives me a brain bonus in order to pull this off. Thunder Sage. I think Thunder Sage or Fey Crystal. I don't need an invisible caffeinated.
Again, the walkthroughs are silent on this.
Thunder Sage. Okay, this one's Thunder Sage, right?
Oh, hold on.
Well, I'm gonna make this drink and then you let me know. Cursed coffee. Last call.
All good.
Okay. I can't wait to see this. A great drink for a great story. Aren't you lucky? I'd like to think luck has nothing to do with it. Perhaps not. I might have something else to cheer you up. Oh? Mellie's back. Oh! Relieved? Like a great sword's been lifted off my shoulders. Is she alright? Good.
Yes, although you might prefer to see for yourself. She and Dave left me their address to give to you. Hiya, Dave.
Who?
You know, Dave.
You know them. Right. Got it. Only one person would fit such an uninspired name. I'd better have apologized to Melly or else.
You'll have to find out the details for yourself. Just don't keep them waiting for too long.
Don't need to tell me that twice. Babel isn't back then?
No.
Sure taking their time.
You like looking for them yet?
No, they're capable. Just my patience is starting to wear thin.
You had some to begin with.
You're pretty chatty for someone within greatsword distance. That's a great line.
That has such lovely, I will strike you. Do you want to get striked? Energy. Right. Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Scully? With an offer like that, my friend, how could a skeleton say no? Perhaps something to enhance my aura. I would like to do the proclamation of this tale, proper justice.
And let's stop here because we need to take an ad break real quick.
Yeah.
So this is a good place. Folks, this is
If you have not stretched yet, now is the time.
Yeah, this is the midpoint of the stream. So if you haven't had a break yet, why don't you get up and do that? Have a stretch, have a wiggle, have a drink of water. I'm going to go pet a kitten chin that's pointed at me.
Little guy.
Maybe you want a snack. Maybe you need to take some medication, anything like that. This is your reminder. And we'll be back in about 3 minutes-ish. See you there. Wiglet was in need of massive quantities of chin scratches.
It was medicinal. It was an urgent thing.
We were running a little bit.
It was an emergency.
Emergency chin scratches. Well, I'm building something for Skelly, aren't I? Triple crown. Oh. There we go. 1,000 winds. Sunny breeze sounds good. Very popular with bards. He wants to tell a tale, doesn't he? He's not emotionally repressed. I think a sunny breeze is appropriate. 1, 2. Oh, looks like the game audio is muted again. There we go. Hey, Ozzy, have a good one.
Ozzy, how you been?
Oh, sorry he's having a hard shift. Tell him I'm petting Andu for them. And then Andu says hello and his eyes sparkle. Alright, have a good one. We're gonna listen to Skelly tell us a story now. Poor Alistair's voice. This is not the right drink. It has to be a recipe that fits. Oh, I see. Wait a minute. Okay, this is not working. We need something to boost this, don't we? For a sunny breeze, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we need an additive. There we go. A fey crystal would work. Yep. So one of those. That's done. That's done. 3 of those. Excellent. I will tell him, as for me, I need to replace my tablet.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Enjoy!
Oh my. Well, they say manners maketh man, but this drink alone has invigorated me plenty. I can almost feel the warmth of flesh on my old bones.
A pleasure to be of service? Our quest was confusing.
Inspiring, I would say.
And that's my favorite flavor of quest. There's not enough fighting, in my opinion. I felt like my muscles were wasting away on the way back here.
But the most important muscle of all received quite a workout. The brain. Metaphorically for me, of course.
I've been wondering about that, actually. No! We're not gonna get started on that topic.
I do have to agree, my friend. Let's not get distracted. Although, I would be delighted to share my theories with you, innkeeper. Let me know when you have an hour to spare. Or 5.
Look at the stretch. The big stretch. He's fine.
Now, back to the task at hand.
We started by making our way westwards, though our progress was slow.
Any complications? Yes, quite a few. Before embarking on this journey, I was woefully ignorant about the plight of the Phasian farmers. The less than ideal weather conditions, the floods that ruined an awful lot of crops, and now this pesky undead problem. I was stricken with empathy for their struggle. The least we could have done was offer up our means of transportation for any soul looking for a better life further north.
So we switched carriages 3 times. But the 3rd time we'd gotten off so far off course, it took us a whole day just to get back to track on foot.
But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wonderful afternoon with Dame Kerlin's cousin, Lady Danica.
That was nice, I guess.
The cousin with the undead snail problem, yeah? Did you manage to liven up that garden for her?
Sure did. Just had to set up some cabbage to lead them somewhere we wouldn't be damaging any crops, and...
With just one magnificent strike. Truly a sight to behold.
It was just some undead snails. No need to get so excited.
Oh, but to match the excitement, Lady Danica served us some positively delightful cups of tea. Better than any accompanying finger sandwiches were some new facts I had gleaned from observing the snails. Even lacking souls, they still displayed some pack behavior. They acted nothing like real animals, of course, but somehow I was struck with empathy for their plight. To unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action. Despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective, is there a more transparent yearning for purpose than that? My apologies, it appears when they say about old age is true. You can't help but philosophize.
And you couldn't help but relate?
In a way.
Look at that face. Cute, cute face. Completely distracting this conversation.
One can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own, or is just a post-mortem reflex of these old bones. It's even my thirst for knowledge. And yet your enjoyment of it seems genuine. Oh. Truly, innkeeper, you have a way with words.
Just lots of experience.
Though that may be, my worries honestly seem rather foolish now. I count myself as quite fortuitous, to be honest. But despite all that my memory lacks, I can delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter, then, where such an urge comes from? Anyhow, my apologies, Dame Kellen. I completely derailed our epic tale. Allow me to make up for it by continuing, post-haste. We departed after that lovely cup of tea and finally headed for the Pale Woods. Lady Danica provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow, would you believe, with the most lovely temperament.
Her name's Leosette.
I made sure to greet the gentleman that passed us on our way to the woods. The magnificent shadow armor he was wearing, something about it felt oddly familiar. Perhaps it was only my hope that we would look just as gallant upon our quest. Lieselette valiantly took us to the edge of the forest, where maliciousness permeated the very air we breathed.
What he means is it stunk. Real bad. We left Leosette there. Sparing her the stench seemed like the right thing to do.
And forth we ventured.
Didn't take a long time to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them. Which also explains the smell.
Now, for some reason, the miasma didn't seem to bother me terribly much.
Most respectfully, you don't have a nose.
Of course!
Anyways.
There was a veritable horde before us, an army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest.
One not a tree.
They were awfully interested in those trees, it's true.
I was itching to tear into them. But remembering the plan, I stepped back. With a hand on my greatsword, though.
Crucial part of a successful negotiation is that you don't go into it blind. And so, we observed. The undead creatures were displaying very similar patterns to those snails. They weren't just stumbling around senselessly, not at all. They seemed to be following a pack leader, a representative. Now that simplified things considerably. My first course of action became clear. I let Dame Kellen know of my intentions.
Seemed reasonable enough.
While I circled the group to get to the leader at the front, she remained hidden in the shadows of the thicket. I walked up to the leader, another skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition.
I suppose they were not open and respectful in return? Nope. Before I could even react, the skeleton had bitten on Scully's arm.
Agony is what I would have said if I hadn't been protected by my frost armor and your excellent drink mixing skills.
Always glad to hear my drinks are protecting my clients on their quests.
My friend, your drinks are astonishingly potent. Honestly, they may be too potent.
Look, the tentacle just curled up.
As soon as the undead creature bit down, their teeth shattered upon impact. The leader recoiled immediately, of course. All the others surrounding us froze. The leader fell to the ground, cradling their face with their hands. Now, curiously, when they regained composure, their expression was filled with joy.
Still no idea how you can read an expression on a skull.
They're actually quite expressive for a skeleton.
The skeletons definitely do have expressions. You just have to get used to looking a little harder for them. Now you're pulling my paw. I have no problem reading Scully's expressions. He has a beautiful smile.
Oh, now you're just making me blush, you rascal.
Let's move on.
Now, the teeth shattering was understandably quite worrying. Made me re-examine the bite marks on the trees around us, I can tell you. Now, peculiarly, the bite marks here were quite a bit more shallow than what we had seen in other parts of the forest.
Which means...
All those undead creatures had severe dental issues. The leader was so happy because the frost armor's chill was dulling their pain. The others' teeth were also in truly abysmal condition, and looking at their behavior, that seemed to be causing them, again, severe pain. Coupled with their hunger for trees, it became a never-ending cycle of suffering. It should have never gotten so bad. I asked them why they hadn't reported the issue to their necromancer, and they said it was clearly starting to impact the fulfillment of their objective.
That got them really heated. They tried to rip Scully apart again.
But Dame Scanlan skillfully resolved the situation with a little soupçon of intimidation. Turns out, they didn't even have dental.
What? Carolyn, can you... I'm with Scully on this one. They had no benefits. Nothing. They were just expected to be quiet and follow orders. That don't sound right to me.
It's a scam, that's what it is. No sick leave, no compensation, no PTO.
They didn't want to hear it.
We're doing what we love. We don't need any fancy benefits. But you should have seen the state they were in. They couldn't even take a proper chomp out of the trees out of bark anymore. What would happen when their teeth deteriorated even further? Their necromancer would replace them with another undead creature in a heartbeat, if they still had one.
That's when Scully really got to them, I think.
The words were just pouring out of one's mouth, and I was elated that somehow they were the right ones.
The light reflected off the frost armor really dazzled them too.
Any skeleton worth their calcium should be able to acquire such armor. They need to be bound by such a neglectful necromancer. My apologies. It appears I somewhat lost my composure just a moment ago. You might soon be contacted to host the first UFU gathering in Keeper.
Union for the Undead.
UFU 1755. Never forget your roots.
They're welcome to visit any time, Scully.
I think they really want to improve their situation. Most respectably, they promise to leave the Pale Woods alone as well. Now, one of UFU's goals is to find a more sustainable way to deal with their obsession, eventually.
They're heading for their necromancer now. There are a bunch of demands to settle. Literally eat the rich!
They graced us with a great deal of parting gifts before we left. We got the hallux that broke off of one of them when they attacked Dame Kaelin. Their leader gave me the teeth we couldn't put back into their skull. Oh, and this eyeball. I'm overjoyed we managed to resolve our quest in such a peaceful and happy manner.
And I can't deny that your resolution was pretty effective.
Good to know you're both happy with how it turned out. Those are the outcomes I most enjoy hearing about from my patrons.
Sorry.
Oh, but we did get you something else as well, Innkeeper.
Right. Here. The trees look really chewed on and dead, but the berries seem like they were thriving. They're the ones Elfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate them now, so I guess you can have them. Let's just set some aside to make Fable a drink when they're back.
That sounds fair.
Ghostberry. Ooh. Oh, it's so cute!
The little ghost.
It gives it an invisibility boost. Ghostberries are nearly translucent and only grow deep within the moon swamp for a few months every year. They're safe to eat, but rather sour to taste. Also, while I was plucking the berries, the spirits of the trees gave us a little keepsake, because they were so glad we were stopping all that gnawing.
Sadly, I don't have any more storage space left in my capacious hat, so we wanted you to have it as well. Now we can always indulge in sweet memories whenever we visit.
Oh, nice. I think I know just the place for it. Thank you both very much. Scully, you ever thought about becoming, like, I don't know, an advocate or something for this kind of stuff? Not that I can usually stand them, but You seem real passionate about it.
Oh no, I'm but a mere heap of bones here to learn all I can. But it is a gentleman's way to speak out when evil is committed in front of you. So I don't suppose I will stop doing just that anytime soon.
Sounds good to me.
I still wonder what all those undead creatures were doing there.
No idea. We didn't ask. Hunger? Seemed to be heading north before we walked to him.
Maybe they were searching for more trees? The Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Phasia. I don't see a reason for them to leave the area before it was barren.
Unless they were ordered to. Don't they typically come with a necromancer attached?
Well, you don't suppose that gentleman we encountered outside the woods could have been that... Good lord, that very necromancer, do you?
I don't think farmers wear armor like what you described.
Oh, if I had known what a dastardly negligent necromancer they were, I would never have offered such a greeting.
I just realized where they could have been heading. It's true there aren't many woods around here that compare to the pale ones, but that giant root in the capital must look pretty good to tree-obsessed undead. There might be tons more headed there even now. Indeed. High fiber risks. Just to clarify, you believe hordes of undead creatures are marching towards the capital? Well, towards the roots would be my guess. I see. They're heading towards Themis to gnaw the divine roots as if to... fell the Aether Tree. Precisely! Not that such an action alone could destroy the whole thing, but it would certainly do some damage. What in the heck are you talking about? As I just stated, someone is trying to destroy the Aether Tree. The Starfall, the Primordial Flood, even the interplanar portals. It's all part of a larger plot. Was that not clear? No.
Oh my, that is awful!
I'm insane if true. Is it even working? Unfortunately so. Or do you see stars in the night sky? I mean, there's one. There used to be many more. And we don't know who's behind it yet either.
Will. Kaelin, Mr. Scully, the gentle person you greeted outside the woods, you thought he might be a necromancer. He certainly wore the armor of one. Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone? Well, not particularly, though it can be hard to tell sometimes. Politeness and the desire for homicide aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. That's another good one.
I just screenshotted that. Yep.
Necromancers resurrect dead things to make undead creatures. Indeed they do. So, Scully, you were resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about it? Well, I admit at first I recalled very little from the start of what we are calling my new life. I mostly stumbled about trying to remember my matters. But my memories, or rather the memories of my body, which I suppose are also my memories, have, I must confess, been getting clearer lately. Let me try to focus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives in the Everbloom.
The Everbloom? Did you encounter any bleak stalkers?
Why, I did indeed. They seemed terribly hungry for my bones. Such interesting creatures. They remind me of the old intellect wombats. Do those at least still around Asia? Intellect wombats. Love it.
Wombats. Oh. Well, that was a little hurtful.
Exactly. That was hurtful.
No. What are intellect wombats?
Priorities, Tia. Scully, who woke you up? A gentleman of fine age. I believe he was there to do research. I remember candles held over notes scribbled on paper. I remember ink stains on fingertips. He must have found me near my friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke up, I simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped.
Be glad you did not aid him. We found his notes. They spoke of the destruction of the universe.
Did the guy from the woods remind you of the one in the archives? Now that you mention it, I wasn't conscious enough to recognize faces when I rose, but I knew the armor looked familiar. I think I saw it when I first reopened my eyes, metaphorically, of course. I no longer have eyelids.
A necromancer is behind all this. Is he trying to break the sigils just to get to Tuat, the spirit dragon in the realm of death?
Sigils? Are you perchance speaking of the sigils of Alcahest? My friend was researching them once. I always thought them a wild figment of her imagination.
Seems they're not, unfortunately.
Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat?
No, but they do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves access to all the souls the spirit dragon guards. Or he plans to destroy death once and for all with his perversions.
But, my dears, to destroy Tuat, one has to find Tuat. That in itself would be quite the impossible task, no?
Not exactly. The spirit realm is well protected, but there are ways to reach him.
Can you kill death?
I don't know, but merely attempting it sounds disastrous.
Sanwa, Mr. Moore, Tuat is the god of death. No matter how insane the necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god. Only weapons made by dragons can harm them. We all know this.
You mean like Gor's great axe? A weapon forged for the dragons by the dragons, meant only for their claws. The axe. It could certainly cut through the barrier between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself.
Would stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil?
All right, you lost me again. I've talked about this already. Keep up.
I'll explain later.
It might count as a sigil if it awakens or damages their plane.
Or should not be awakened under any circumstances whatsoever, nor should their legendary weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. Oh my stars, this really is quite concerning.
I'm right there with you. This seems like an insane plot. Even for some giant bad guy. What is it? Big bad guy? BBG?
BBG.
They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we are correct, this one plans to steal Or's weapon, break their sigil, and then destroy Tuat. Dragons be with us.
What about the undead creatures marching towards the capital?
They must be a distraction, a way to keep anyone who would interfere off his back.
Quite the dangerous distraction, if you ask me.
Those poor husks shouldn't be snacking away at those roots either way, should they?
No.
And those sigils of alcohol zest you keep talking about could do what? Destroy the tree? The spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe to be this monster's plan succeeds, it will collapse down onto the rest of the Aether Tree. Not only would that free all dead souls, it would destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. It would destroy our world as we know it. Big bad evil plan. Not to mention Tuat might die. I don't think I have to explain to you why dying would be a bad thing.
Once again, can he die?
Wouldn't risk it.
Though I believe this plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps to the transitional period between the astral moon and the dying moon. Only then would the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed. Wait, what you mean is this can only happen between on the nights between the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat? So I can only work in 4 days, or next year? Precisely, my boy.
I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessary complicated rules.
That is common courtesy.
Clay, I've been wondering. Remember that man we saw on our way back near Morrow Castle?
Yeah? Do you think he might have been the same guy?
I do. Strange armor sounds familiar, as does the convenient proximity to destruction. And more so that blood of the first vampire Kyle spoke of. Part of the ritual to safely traverse the astral sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him. Like the blood...
Like the blood of a vampire eternally bound to him?
Precisely. Maybe our villain got his hands on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than I anticipated. All of this out of context is giving me a headache. And Kate, you got another drink to spare to help with all this mess? Something powerful enough to get me through it?
Anything for Yuka.
Oh gosh, such big revelations.
Revelations galore.
Kara's like, I need to fight! I need to fight!
There's no drink specified for this, so I think this is another...
Probably a Southern Brawler.
Go with your heart.
We got a whole lot of Southern Brawlers at the table here today. I'll have what he's having. Good job, Andu.
Good job, Andu.
I like how Care's almost like the player POV.
The fuck is this?
I put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy it. Huh? I think you just put parts of my sanity back together. Thanks a lot.
Anytime.
So, this madman, if he can't get the axe, he can't kill the spirit dragon, right? Correct. Great! Let's stop him from getting the axe then.
That's a great idea.
I know. Now, how do we do that? Well, first the necromancer needs to find it. For that, he'd have to get to Ur's realm. Thanks to the portals, that's entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through one of the portals to the Twilight Chasm, and then enter the endless caves through the Nightmare realm. Nothing easier than that.
Didn't Melly see some weird new bone markers near the Twilight Chasm portal over at the Moon Swamps? Could they be there to remind someone, let's say hypothetically a necromancer, of the way to the portal?
They could. Good. The moon pools are much easier to reach than Boreas. We should catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm, and most certainly before he gets the axe. Great! Let's go beat his axe!
Hold on.
What if he's right?
This theory about how the necromancer is our old partner and we may have broken the first sigil. I think, what if you don't succeed?
Yeah. What if you don't succeed? I have faith in you, but he sounds powerful. Maybe we need a backup plan as well. Oh, I hate to say it, but you're not wrong.
Thanks for looking out for us. If we don't manage to stop him from getting the weapon, we stand no chance, terribly sorry, skeleton shouldn't burp, in a fight against him. Even your divine strikes would be no match, Miss Anwar.
That is true. We would need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his. Not sure if it's enough, but I've got my sword I got from my baba. Let me see it. This is remarkable craftsmanship infused with minor divine powers. Incredible. But I'm afraid even this cannot rival the Great Axe in any capacity.
What if it was mixed with dragonfire?
What?
Do you happen to have such a thing on hand, young lad? No, but I know where we could find some. The ever-burning flame in the Highlands is pure dragon fire. The one you wanted to see, Tyr. I think now might actually be a pretty good time for that.
You're right. Dragonfire merged with Carolyn's blessed sword. It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. If we had a master craftsman to forge it, that is. Raya. She's a blacksmith.
I think you're right. There's no one better for the job.
There's no one better for the job. I'm sure she'd love to forge such a weapon. And I'm sure you can convince her of the importance, Care. You got that right. Leave the blacksmith recruiting to me. Very well. Oh, gosh. I'm doing a lot of expedition. Very well. I'm sure Master Smith Frothgrip will be delighted with this opportunity. Having her on our side makes me even more confident we can stop this necromancer's plans. Look at all the buffs we're stacking. I have the utmost faith in us, and I know the Aperture and its astral portal are well protected even if we should fail. Though I don't believe we will, because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle. And so is Clay.
And I have mapped all my hotkeys, and the others too.
Yes, the others too.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure if the four of you will be enough. Don't worry, there's a lot of people we can ask for help. Like you.
Like me? Ask away.
We can count on you. You collect everything we talk about, right?
I tried my best.
Great. Could you write us up 2 quests for all of this? I think we should split our resources so we get the backup plan going at the same time. Good idea, young man. Plus, that'll give us the excuse to have your drinks help us, and I would like a little drinky.
Not that you need any excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up by first thing in the morning. I trust in you as you trust in us.
Deeply.
Deeply? Yes. Deeply, and with the knowledge that together we are stronger. We'll see you in the morning, then. Callan, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work for us. You got that right. Let's go.
I cannot possibly miss out on more possible details, but I shall see you in the morning, Innkeep. Thank you for all of your help. Let's save the world, all right?
Let's, Clay. Good luck. Wow, what a day!
What a day! We are at an ad in
1 minute. So
65 seconds.
We're going to go ahead and run our very last ad of the stream because it's 10:45 already. And then when we come back, we'll build these new quests and we'll save it there, I think. I'm wondering if we're going on to our very last day.
We're officially endgame now.
All right. Hang on there, folks. Take one more quick little stretch. Get yourself a drink of water. I certainly need one. And we'll be right back to build the quests. Now that the
And we're
cat's
back.
genitals have been safely tucked
now
away.
now Twig let his bed stop that bed all again.
All right, so only a weapon forged with dragon fire can resist another draconic weapon's power. Hopefully, the ever-burning flame lives up to its name. Okay. So this is how to reach them. According to myth, there are the roofs of the 8th tree.
That almost feels like it goes over here.
Here we go. Legend has it the Great Axe of Ur lies hidden somewhere deep inside the subterranean caves. It's an unimaginably powerful weapon.
That definitely goes with the capitals on the roots of the ether tree. Maybe that. Quill's jiggling.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope.
Hmm. Okay, this is a little bit more complicated. So let's sort this. So anything that has to do with the undead or the tree roots or anything, or anything that has to do with, so like here's one, right?
Undead marching towards the capital. These undead can't seem to get enough fiber. Yeah, that feels like it makes sense. And it does.
The Dead Parade. A horde of undead is approaching the capital. Their insatiable hunger for the local flora leads them to the exposed roots of the Aether Tree, and therefore to the capital Famous, since it lies nestled in the safety of the roots. This is a mere distraction, so the necromancer can fulfill his true plan, but the undead must still be stopped before they hunger for flesh once more.
Okay.
We have 3 quests, it looks like.
3 quests.
Tuat. So here's Ur. The enemy aims for the destruction of the Aether Tree. He needs the Great Axe of Ur to collapse the Spirit Realm onto the rest of the tree. The wondrous plane of Ur can be accessed through the Twilight Chasm, a plane that can be entered through the portals of our world in Gaia. Legend has it the Great Axe of Ur lies hidden somewhere deep inside the subterranean cave. It's an unimaginably powerful weapon.
The Twilight Chase.
World calamity is imminent, but there is one last way to save it. The only weapon strong enough to harm Tuat and the Aether Tree is the legendary Great Axe of Ur, and the personification of evil wants it desperately. But first he must make it through the Twilight Chasm, and for that he needs a portal. Sounds like a good location to stop him, right?
Okay.
And here's number 3. Here we go. Legends or clerics say that the first flame Leviathan ever bestowed upon mankind still burns in a temple in the Highlands. Only a weapon forged with dragon fire can resist another draconic weapon. Hopefully the ever-burning flame lives up to its name. Carolyn's great-grandsword once belonged to her grandmother. A legendary, it's a gift from the dragons themselves. Very impressive if true. There we go.
There we are.
Heir of Dragonfire. Only weapon forged in Dragonfire could ever dream to hold up against the legendary Great Axe of War. Luckily, a temple in the Highlands houses the ever-burning flame, an ancient gift from the dragons that'll come in handy right about now. And what better sword to reshape with this flame than another gift from the Realm Keepers, an heirloom passed down to Carolyn with heroism scorched into its very existence. So we're still missing one piece of information about the big bad.
Who I think we're going to get to talk to quite soon.
You think he's going to rock up into the bar?
I do.
All right. Let's let Andu finish having his snack, and then let's save it there. A very eventful day. All right. Act 3, The Twilight Flood, Part 22, Twilight Zinnias, the 32nd of the Astral Moon. Don't we have till the 31st of the Astral Moon?
I think so.
All right. Or the end of the Astral Moon and the beginning of the Tuat Moon. I don't know how many days are in months in this world. Is it gonna make me save over my early saves?
No.
How dare you?
No.
All right. That is an excellent place to stop
really is.
for today, I think. All right, let's go back.